Hello, I'm Dr. Shauna Eichens, or Dr. E at Hope and Healing Naturopathic. And as a naturopathic physician, my goal is to help people reach their goals across the board. So this is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, because it's all part of that umbrella of health. So today I want to talk specifically about Neuro Emotional Technique, shortened to NET. One of my favorite techniques, personally, professionally. I love how it helps people, whether they are struggling with phobias, that physical pain that you have tried everything for and it's just stubborn and chronic or frequent and annoying. NET can help with that, even though that's a physical symptom. It may have an emotional component. It can even help just balance those things where you are stressed about and you have racked your brain over and over and tried to talk yourself down and calm yourself, and it just doesn't work because it's a subconscious block to healing, something with unprocessed emotion that's stuck. So today I'm actually going to show you a quick demo, thanks to this lovely patient who is willing to help out today. And I want to show you something really quick on how this changes the brain. So this technique is you're awake and conscious, but it is addressing subconscious blocks to healing. So this picture, hopefully you can see that okay without too much glare or blur. This particular study was done on people with cancer, which of course, as we can imagine and never want to experience, but it's traumatic. So they had these study participants write down the worst part of their journey, and then they read it back to them. And they measured all of these subjective and objective findings, including this functional MRI, where you can see the orangish reddish areas are the parahippocampal region of the brain, i.e. stress. Think of if something causes you stress, it stresses you and the body. That's as simple as we can say. Then after this was 1 to 4 NET sessions based on each individual participant, the exact same scenario or that stressful, traumatic paragraph that they wrote was read back to them. The stressor did not change. The situation and the people did not change. What changed was their reaction or response to it. Therefore, this is much less stressful. That activation in the brain is not happening. So that's why it can be so intense and profound and efficient. It's like 10 years of talk therapy in one session. So I want to show you real quick. Typically, NET sessions are not this speedy. I will get more out of the patient, connect for the sake of time, and because this patient is a pro and we've already talked about this concern, I'm going to jump right into it. So it uses applied kinesiology, which is getting information from the body. So for example, think about your name, your real name, think about it and just match my pressure. Then go ahead and say, my name is George.
My name is George.
Her name's not George. So that's why she goes weak, she disconnects. So I'm not cranking on her lighter or harder. We've already talked about her concern that she would like to accept or have less stress about. And it had to do with what's going on, how she feels about inflation and society. And so I'm going to have her say the statement, I'm okay even if society collapses.
I'm okay even if society collapses.
Clearly, if her arm is going weak, her subconscious is saying, no, I'm not okay. That's not true. So I'm gathering information on which meridian and emotions to check. Let's check the concept of false pride, which is fake it till you make it. Let's check the concept of shame, which is feeling bad. Concept of arrogance, humiliation, your humiliation. Does that make sense if you were to connect humiliation and society collapsing?
Yes.
Yes. So normally I would flush more out. For the sake of time, I'm going to help her connect those. Humiliation if society were to collapse. She's weak. So what's the worst part if it's humiliating and feels like humiliating if society collapses?
Just not being able to help people, not being able to do the things that we normally would do, get to work and back and just buy food and pay the rent.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard her. She said, what if we can't do the things we normally do? Pay rent, buy food. So I'm going to check a few things based on what she just said. Let's check the concept of the worst thing being you are broke and suffering. Let's check the concept of you're unable to fix or change something. Concept of unable to control someone or something. So she went weak. So we know now we need to connect the concept of humiliation, the original event where there was humiliation because of being unable to control someone or something, where she felt out of control. Then we check the age. concept of the original event, preconception, and I'm going to jump to 40 years old, 41 to present day, 41 to 45, 46 to 49, 50, 50 surrounding family or friends, work or school, health, physical health, emotional health. So 50 and emotionally, did you feel strong, secure, stable, or was anything going on emotionally?
No, a lot was going on emotionally. That was menopause, and I was definitely struggling.
And did you feel like you were in control with
Not at all.
menopause emotionally?
Not at all.
And did you feel proud of that? And
Not at all.
right. So normally, like I said, this would be a longer process. I'm gonna go with it for the sake of time. Connecting humiliation, access that feeling of humiliation when you felt out of control with your emotions during menopause at 50, during 50. And then I'm going to set the patient up here, but I'm going to show you what the patient looks like. I want to protect her privacy. So put one finger, I'm just going to move you a little bit, one finger where mine is right there, and then palm across your forehead. What she's doing is connecting to, and just breathe through that, thinking of that time in your life where you felt that humiliation, out of control, menopausal symptoms at 50. And what that looks like is she's connected like this and taking some deep breaths in that position. And that's what resets the nervous system, the brain. And believe it or not, it can be that fast, easy, and quick. And I'll finish up here. This patient is still breathing and processing. Actually, she's not. So here we go. So then I'm going to ask you to think about that time, that tough time at 50 when you felt out of control emotionally. Turn your head to the left, concept of other emotions. Come on back, and we're going to end how we started. I'm okay even if society collapses.
I'm okay even if society collapses.
It doesn't mean she wants that to happen or she'll be happy. It just decreases the stress when she thinks about that scenario, that awful situation. So time will tell, but what I've seen is that can have an impact immediately. So anyway, hopefully you learned something or have some insight on NET. I look forward to meeting you and helping you reach your health goals.